Welcome to the Buddy and Friends podcast, a podcast about performers. Let's get on with the show.
Hello and welcome to Buddy and Friends. I'm your host, Buddy Katz, and today I have a very special guest with me today. I've known him for about 10 years right now. He is a Michael Jackson impersonator, Freddie Mercury impersonator, Johnny Depp impersonator. This guy is the master of all trades. He's been a performer for about 15 years, same amount as me. Ladies and gentlemen, MJX from MJX Expressions. How you doing, MJ?
Very good. Very good. Happy to be online here with you today.
Definitely, it's great to have you. I want to do a little throwback to what we did. I met you towards during the Michael Jackson night at the Blue Cross skating ring. That's how we met, if you remember.
Blue Cross in Philadelphia, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know who pushed me into your one performance. Someone pushed me. I don't know, it was somebody in the crowd. They pushed me in, and I jumped right into your performance with you. And we were on sync for some reason. I'm like, wait, what's this? Oh, he's doing J5 from Motown. Okay, I'm like, okay, let's do it. Hey,
Yep.
but
That was right. That was right. We did the I was trying to remember what set that was, but yeah, that's right. It was the Jackson 5 at the end we did.
yeah, and we'll get back to the you performing in Philly in a little bit. But MJ, what was your early introduction into performing, and how's performing inspired you throughout your life?
My early days, well, I mean, high school, I always was part of some kind of you know, talent night or something along those lines. But then when I graduated high school, I didn't go into performing arts right away. I always enjoyed it, but I went into art, and then I kind of went back into it a little later after I already had a career as an art director. So I was so happy to be into it. I'm so happy to get kind of go back to performing. Even something that I enjoyed doing when I was younger. In a kid in high school, and I always loved Michael Jackson.
That's
So I had
great.
I had a similar style, I guess, sort of dancing as Michael's. That's kind of how it happened a little later for me. But it's never too late to start. So
No, it's not. Don't matter if you're 13, like when I started, I was 13 years old, and now I'm 27, been doing this for a very long time. Don't matter if you're 45, anybody can do it, Michael Jackson, or get into performing. It's an amazing, fun little venture. Um, you've been a Michael Jackson impersonator for about 15 years now. How do you get into MJ?
so I actually started doing Michael Jackson. I did some events. I wanted to try it. I mean, I knew of impersonation and stuff like that. I didn't really sure what I was gonna do. I didn't know if I'd ever do it professionally, but I used to like to dress up like Michael and dance and things like that. So I started performing with some local bands and doing their like intermission and stuff. And it kind of I started passing out business cards and things, and that's kind of really where it started. And I really didn't anticipate it turning into what it did. But here I am. It's not exactly 15 years later. I like to say it's over 10 years. But yeah, so here I am, and even branched out into other characters now too. So it was just like a very unexpected change of path for me to end up leaving my full-time job and doing this.
Hmm. And when I tell you guys, if you guys ever get a chance to see him do Michael Jackson or even Freddie Mercury, which we will talk about a little bit, he is phenomenal at what he does. He is a great business person. He's a great performer. He's very friendly with all the people who he meets. He's a wonderful guy. But when becoming Michael Jackson, do you take any form of dancing, like any dance classes or anything?
Um, when I was gonna do Michael and I wanted to try to take it more seriously, I did find a choreographer in New York that kind of specialized in Michael Jackson dancing. So I did study with him probably for about a year when I was first starting out as Michael, and he also knew all the iconic dances. He knew Thriller, he knew Beat It, the ones that
Yeah.
Michael Jackson needs to know. And know it correctly too. Not, not
Yes.
that you're just watching on on YouTube and stuff like that. Like you can only learn it, you have to learn it the correct way, I guess. So that's what I did for about a year, and then I kind of went out on my own.
Hmm. So you did take forward. So for the last couple episodes, when I was talking to a lot of my guests, a lot of them never had any form of training in what they have done. But you're the first guest to actually have a form of training in some
Oh, really?
capacity. Yes.
Well, I'm not gonna say that everybody needs to. I felt like like people who maybe have had more dance. Some I've noticed some Michael Jackson performers in particular have been in dance a lot of their life. They've either been doing some hip hop dancing, have dance classes or stuff like that that they've done when they were a child, and kind of maybe they were in more active in performing arts, but I felt like I really personally needed it. So that's why I decided to do that.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, well, Michael Jackson, most people, a lot of people know that, he had such a unique way of dancing that it wasn't traditional.
Yeah.
So, you know, he kind of did his own thing, and trying to mimic that. If you did have classic trained experience, it's kind of going against a lot of what the classic uh instructors would have taught you anyway. So,
Yeah. Um, you've been on shows like GMA, people for the people who are watching this international for us, that's Good Morning America. It's on ABC. You were on Four Weddings for TLC. You were on so many other shows. Can you tell me a little bit more about those experiences and how you got those experiences from what you've been doing?
uh honestly, I think a lot of that was luck. But I do think, I had some people that had reached out and they said that they wanted to do like it was usually a small segment, like as TV usually is, and include Michael Jackson in something that they're doing. I mean, the biggest one for sure was Good Morning America, where they were celebrating, I think it was the 25th anniversary of the moonwalk. Uh, and they wanted to just have that highlighted on Good Morning America. So that was a surprise and great experience to have. Yeah, they pretty much they reached out to me and asked if I was available for that day. There were, I think, a couple of other Michael Jacksons in the area that were also possibly in the running, and I was just fortunate enough to get it.
Hmm. Were was this around the time when you started your business, MJX Expressions?
Yeah, I was probably doing Michael Jackson at that point for maybe I want to say maybe I was in my fourth year when Good Morning America happened.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think I was about doing it for about 4 years at that point.
Yeah, because I remember, I believe I saw a little bit of you. You met Robin Roberts, who's a big Michael Jackson fan. For people who do not know, she's a big, huge Michael Jackson fan. You got to meet
Yeah.
her a couple times, and you've been. People can actually find this on, I think, any streaming services. If you find Four Weddings, it's how I know your episode. It's like a pop star themed wedding, and the other themed wedding was like a bird themed wedding. So you guys can
Yeah, there's a
either,
parrot.
yeah,
Parrot.
yeah, like a parrot theme, but like see, like that's the only two ways I know for that series. It's your segment in that episode and the bird segment in that episode. That was it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah.
if any,
That was funny.
yeah, but if anybody wants to find MJ on Florida Weddings, you can either find it on Discovery Plus or any, or maybe probably Max. You could find wherever find Four Weddings on any streaming services. Um, back to with Michael Jackson, how we met. They just started to do Michael Jackson Night in 2015, and you were chosen to come out and perform, and then you continued to do it from 2015 up to 2018. Um, from that experience, because you were performing in such a small space,
Yeah.
then the one year you performed in the skating ring. How do you feel about those kind of performances?
Um, well, I think, you never really know what you're gonna be going into when you're booked in different places and stuff. I mean, certain venues are not maybe the most conducive of having performers come in because it was kind of off the skating rink, that tiny little designated area to
Yeah.
perform. It feel almost more like a street performer doing that. But as long as the client is okay and they know that that's what it's going to be or whatever, then you just kind of go with it. It was nice to be in the middle of the ring though that one year, because then people who wanted to enjoy a performance could watch from everywhere at that. That was a smart move, I felt like on their part.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
and then
'Cause-
they had what one honestly out of that whole experience, the best part of that experience, I feel like for the fans was they had that whole setup of the big chair, like the oversized
yes,
chair, and the fans could go up there and sit in the chair with you and take a photo. And I just always enjoyed that part of it because I felt like they got that closeness that they wanted. So
definitely. And you were the first actual Michael Jackson impersonator I ever met in person. Just meeting you is like actually like meeting Michael Jackson for those fans who never got a chance to meet him in person.
there were, I will honestly have to say, no, you're close to that area, right? Buddy?
I'm close to that area.
I mean, I want to say like the Philadelphia area, they love Michael Jackson
Oh,
down there. They really
absolutely.
do.
They love it.
There's some pretty diehard fans down there. That's why I was a little disappointed that they decided not to have the Michael Jackson nights anymore, because I think that the fans really did enjoy that celebration, truthfully.
Definitely. And we don't get that much experience for the Michael Jackson fan base around the Philadelphia, New Jersey area. It's not much around here, but if you go to like California, you see so much Michael Jackson fans just for like to go see Michael Jackson's one on his birthday or just do like the little birthday celebration. That will be it. For us, it's nothing. We got
Uh-huh.
nothing.
Right.
But
Um,
besides MJ, you do Freddie Mercury with your band Xtreme Queen. How did that come about and how's it different from MJ?
I had been my part of my company booked celebrity impersonators. Like I think you know that. Like I
Yeah.
had booked different characters. So I had gotten some requests for Freddie Mercury. And I didn't have anybody to offer. And I said, oh, all right, um not of course being a Queen fan like the way I am a Michael Jackson fan. But then I went to see the movie and I really enjoyed the movie very much and I was very impressed with how Rami Malek handled that character. And I love the fact that he did the whole recreation of Live Aid. I love that. And that really inspired me, man. So I I started doing Freddie Mercury just for solo stuff and it went over pretty well. And then that's when the some musicians and I collaborated and decided we were gonna try to put together a whole band to see what happens with it.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's how that happened. And it really has gone better than what I think all of us anticipated so far.
Yeah, you guys been doing it for a very long time. I believe you guys was started around 2020, around the during the pandemic. You guys
Yeah.
started.
So we started it. I mean, it was like a blessing and a curse because we started it around that time, like before the pandemic. And of course, nobody knew what was going to happen with that.
Yeah,
So, but then during the pandemic, we actually had a lot of interested customers from the start. But then the pandemic happened and it gave us an opportunity to really work hard on all of the music and getting everything done to the degree that we were able to do it because we had this time on our hands. And then we really kind of went full throttle, I want to say, in 2021. Yeah, I would say 2021, and that's when people started to slowly come out of the pandemic and bookings started to slowly get back on the calendar. And but I think that we needed that year to really refine a lot of stuff. So it was, we tried to make it a productive time. So that's all we could do. That's all,
definitely.
you know.
And at the moment, you are actually on tour with Extreme Queen. Do you guys like to tour?
Right now.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, the last couple of years we've been getting more out of state bookings, like fly in, which has been a lot of a lot of fun for us and new experiences and everything. So we've been, yeah, I mean that again, going into something not really knowing what the expectations were going to be. We just knew we enjoyed the music, we enjoyed working with each other, and I really was embracing the Freddie Mercury character. So we have quite a few shows coming up this year. We're looking forward to out of state. So um just enjoying the ride while we are on it. That's all I could say.
Definitely, definitely. You guys put on a very great Queen show. It's always amazing when I get to have a chance to
You
see you
came to
guys.
didn't you see us? You saw us once, right?
Yeah, I saw you guys a couple times. I saw you at up in North Jersey, and then I saw you. You were in my neck of the woods. You were in Cherry Hill.
Oh, right. We were in, that's right. I forgot. That was our early days when we were in
Yeah,
Cherry Hill.
and
Um,
these guys do a
yeah,
wonderful
you did.
job.
Like, We we've added to our production. I mean, our one of the main things I always wanted to try to stick to, although it's not always easy with everything involved, budgets and stuff, but is to synchronize that music with the music videos, and then when we do the Live Aid recreation, it's really intended to be synchronized with the real Live Aid. So now we've added two big screens to our show, and we're every show that we have, unless for some crazy circumstance it's a small space and we can't put them there. But in most instances now we have two big screens that we have, and they synchronize all the music. So it really adds to the show when people come to see it.
And that's great. Next time you guys come, I definitely had to come see you guys because you guys are amazing. Because like I said, I haven't seen you guys since 2021 when you guys last performed. And that's great. You guys
Yeah,
improved it.
yeah, that's why I'm mentioning it to you because like I hope I'll look on my calendar. Maybe we could work something out, where you're not busy because you're a busy dude too. And we'd love to see you, one of our shows, and you can kind of see the updated version of it.
Definitely, definitely. And you teach classes for special needs and have showcases with them. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and a little bit more about how that became?
So I'm right now in the 12th year of having that dance program, and yeah, it's just been an amazing I guess, journey putting together the dance program for special needs. It grew organically. I had mainstream classes, mainstream for lack of a better term, classes for a while when I first started, and I was always open to anybody. Anybody was welcome to come in, any age. Well, usually around 5 years old and then up, but any age could come in and learn Michael Jackson dances. And then over the years, I started getting more and more students that were on the spectrum. So it ended up being as just how it organically grew, it grew into a dance program for special needs. And I feel like, God has a path.
Yes.
And I think that even though to this very day, I welcome anybody into my program, anybody. It has just become a dance program now. Sorry, my dog is barking.
You're fine.
My dog Freddie is barking. All
Yes, he has a dog, Freddie, and he has a cat,
right. Nobody wants to
a
hear that.
black cat.
Nobody wants to hear that. I'm sorry. Uh, um, but anyway, so yeah, it organically grew into program for special needs, and they all get along so well with each other. Some of them have been with me for like 10 years. They grew up with me, and some of them are even in relationships now, like they're dating, which is a beautiful, charming thing.
Yes,
And they hang out with each other. They've made we call it the Michael Jackson MJX family now because we've
that's
been
great.
together so many of us for so long that it's hard to even call them students or a dance class. It's more like a family.
That's great.
So that's every Monday night, and the classes are held in Aberdeen, New Jersey, at 7 o'clock. And I, yeah, I mean, every Monday with the exception of major holidays, we're there.
That's great. Is there any tips you can give any upcoming performers on what it takes to be a performer?
To be a performer? I mean,
Yes.
there's performers and then there's impersonators. Uh, I will say, I mean, I don't know if you feel this way, being that we do the same thing, but I think that the impersonators are, I'm hoping that we can keep this going because the world still does need impersonators, and I feel
Yes.
like it's such a, um, I don't even know how it's a very niche type of performing, and I hope that people can keep it going because these legends like Michael Jackson and even like Sinatra and some of these other guys and stuff. I mean, they're gonna be people are still gonna want them. So I'm hoping that people will be willing to, as time goes on, to still honor these legends and still be able to take it serious as they should, to be able to impersonate them and pay tribute to them and do it in a very professional way. Just like they would like if they wanted to be any other kind of entertainer. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
make sure that they take it serious, just as serious as Michael Jackson took his performances. Like, get the right costumes, get the right training if you need it. Um, be professional with your clients, learn how to be professional with your clients if you want to get into it. And just I think that's important. I think it's important to keep it going and important to take it serious if you are going to try to get into impersonation. Really learn the characters. I
Yes.
mean, there's characters outside of Michael Jackson that the world needs. Like we need more Madonnas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really do. We need more Madonnas. We
We
need more
have
Madonnas that want to do the
it's not like I was saying we have like
what's that?
we have a lot of Elvises. We don't need more Elvises, but maybe like younger Elvises, but older Elvis. There's so many of them.
There are, but what the thing that I have to say is that when we're sitting here, like when we first started this talk, this interview, when we're talking about how long, I mean, you're doing it 15 years. Does it feel like you've been doing it 15 years? Because it goes
No, it
by fast.
doesn't. It really doesn't, and it makes it more hard because with the show coming up, I tell my dancers like, it's a show for Michael. It's keeping Michael's legacy, but they also tell me it's like, but it's also a tribute for you because you're celebrating your 15 years.
Yeah.
It makes me feel weird because I've been doing it
Right,
for such a long time.
right. And you're still a young guy. I
Yeah.
mean, so, but my point is though, is that the time goes by so fast.
Hmm.
Sadly, none of us are getting younger.
Nope.
So it's important, even if it is Elvis's, these Elvises can't be doing it until they're 100 years old, and some of them are getting there.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, we want to encourage, I want to encourage people to take the characters seriously. Young people, come on up, learn this music, learn the songs. Don't make it into a gimmick, make it into something real.
Exactly.
Elvis was the king of rock and roll, the king. He's People are gonna love Elvis forever, and I hope that people will continue. Younger people are not gonna think it's stupid.
Yeah.
No, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Older guys can't be keeping it on, keep going on forever.
No.
We need the younger people to come up and start doing it, and to a certain degree, even with Michael Jackson.
Exactly. And knowing with the new biopic, we don't know when the hell is coming out, but
Oh, I'm so disappointed about
I
that. I just
know
saw the news. Like, I think it was just one of my students, as a matter of fact. And they said, "Did you hear about the movie MJ?" And I said, what about the movie?" And they're like, "Oh, it might not be coming out." I said, "No, no."
coming out in October to keep on moving it. Now it's going to be coming out apparently next spring and next fall because now it's a two-parter movie.
Yeah.
It's
Is that's what it was? Because I didn't read about next spring.
yeah, now it's apparently they're saying this next spring. They haven't said nothing about October being moved up, but now they're saying it's being moved to spring. It's something with any time with the MJ estate or with that. It's just something.
Hmm. That's too bad. Because sometimes productions, when they start doing that, the steam and starts to go for the audiences.
Yeah,
Sometimes. It's like, oh, that stupid movie that's never happening. 3 times already. I was like, no, but that's too bad because I mean, well, one thing I've been telling my students is that whenever that movie comes out, I do want to rent a theater and bring them for a special movie night to see it.
Definitely.
So, oh well. If it comes out, we'll be there.
Definitely, and I will be there too. It's and the same thing. I don't know if you ever heard of the Wicked movie. The same thing happened a couple times with that movie. It had different production dates for such
Are
a
you
long time.
Wicked? You mean like Wicked, like about the witches?
Yes,
Oh, okay. All right, I wasn't aware of that.
yeah, they had a whole thing like it was supposed to release and I believe sometime in 2019. My dates might be wrong, but 2016, and that moved to a different date. Then
Mhm.
finally they got the two parters now. So, and it's became a phenomenon. So who knows what Michael the movie can do for Michael's legacy?
Yeah. I mean, if it's a home run, hopefully, God willing, I'm really hoping it's going to be like the Bohemian Rhapsody
Yes,
for MJ, then, it won't matter when it comes out because everybody was just going to love the movies. And Michael deserves a movie like that.
exactly. And they said it's going to be 4 hours, so that's why they're
Whew.
splitting it into two parts.
Wow.
I got one last question for you, MJ, and I tell all my guests this is the hardest question of all. Since I'm a Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury impersonator, do you have a favorite MJ or Queen song?
You say this is the hardest
This is the
question?
hardest question because I know there's people who have certain favorites, but sometimes it's hard to choose.
It is hard to choose.
That's why I said it's the
Well,
hardest.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's hard to choose, but for me, like when I've been asked that before, ah, I want to have to say, "Man in the Mirror" has got to be probably my favorite Michael Jackson song. It really is powerful, and it's. I think it says a lot about, even though Michael didn't write that song, I don't think,
No, he
but it's
didn't.
it's it's yeah, and I didn't think he went right. I like even though, but I do. He performed it. He sang. I mean, the whole thing. I always loved the message of that song. The message of that song was very powerful. I love it. So I would have to say is my favorite Michael Jackson song. Um, and I have grown more for like different reasons. Uh, the meaning behind it, but it might not be the most uplifting song. But I really love "The Show Must Go On" for Queen.
Oh,
I
that's
really
beautiful.
do love. You know, um, we have it in the show, in our show, and when we started our bookings and it was like right through during the pandemic, like when we were just coming out of the pandemic, some people were still wearing masks and afraid to be out, but they came out to the show anyway. So there was a lot that I used to say before we performed that song. So that's another reason why I think that I've grown to really like that song.
Even when you guys performed, I believe it was that one, Spread Your Wings, and Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. Out of all the songs you guys performed, those three, the ones you performed, are my favorite, top favorite.
Oh, really? I
When you
love, you
guys,
know what though?
yes.
My second favorite, if we're gonna talk about a happy, catchy tune, I I love Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. I do. I just think that's such a you can't not be happy listening to that song.
No, you can't. It's such a good song. And for MJ, do you have anything you want to share with any upcoming events? Anything you want to share with the audience and what you're doing?
Upcoming events. Well, we have a new docu tribute show. I might have posted it a couple of times. It is pretty new. I just started it last year, where it's a documentary slash tribute show that where I talk about the roots of Michael Jackson. It's not long-winded, nobody wants to sit through that. But it's a long, I'm just saying, but just enough to say, okay, well, this is where how Michael Jackson started his evolution of dance, and then the idea is there's a whole huge screen, like movie theater size screen that is behind us, and then we run portions of of a documentary that explain a little bit about Michael Jackson's roots, and also just some of his iconic videos that will play as well. So I call it the Docu Tribute Show. We have it booked at QPAC in Queens on May 22nd. And then we have it booked on June 3rd at the Staten Island College. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact. It's a theater. It's just theater in Staten Island College. So we have it booked on those two dates so far. And anybody that's interested in that, that's a public show that's also ticketed, and it's great for young kids who love Michael Jackson but want to learn about the roots of Michael Jackson and where dance comes from. I have clips in there of like NSYNC and some of these other newer boy bands and how they're all influenced by Michael Jackson. So, yeah, so those two shows definitely are worth checking out.
And if you guys have a chance to see them, good on you. But if you missed it, then it probably was a good show. But you also guys are on tour with Queen at the moment. Your Xtreme Queen shows are on tour for a couple shows. And where can people find you online
Um,
for bookings or anything?
for bookings,
Yes.
well, I mean, they can go to my website, which is mjxpressions.com. MJX, no E in front of the X, mjxpressions.com. And if I have specific website just for Queen. Anybody that's just interested in Queen can go to Xtreme Queen with an X, extremequeentributeband.com, and then our whole tour schedule is there.
And I want to say thank you, MJ, for being a part of the podcast, for being a great friend and a
Yeah.
mentor for the longest time I know you. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Nice.
And if you guys have any time to go see MJ and Xtreme Queen or see MJ as Michael Jackson for any MJ events, please go give them some support. It's amazing, the amazing show they do. And it was a pleasure having you on the podcast. Thank you so much, MJ.
What, buddy, one last thing, only because this is a local, and if I don't know if your followers are more local, but anybody who has a child on the spectrum that is interested in dance and Michael Jackson, they should check out. I actually started it's a new website just for the dance program. It's mjxdanceprogram.com, and that's specifically geared towards that program for special needs. If anybody's interested, I mean, the one good thing I will say that I'm seeing a lot about is there's a lot more awareness for the spectrum and autism and everything. So people are always looking for programming, I feel, right now for that demographic. So anybody's interested, check out mjxdanceprogram.com.
That's great. And you guys heard it first here on the Buddy and Friends podcast. Go check it out. Go support MJ and what he does. He's fantastic. Like I said early in the podcast, he's fantastic with his team, his clients. He's an amazing person. And thank you so much, MJ, for being on the podcast.
Buddy, and good luck with your show that you're playing with your team there. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
Thank you so much. And to everybody listening, thank you for listening to Buddy and Friends. We will see you again next time. Bye bye.